So is bread bad as such? And this is one of those questions where it just cannot be answered in yes or no type answer, as with a lot of health or fitness questions in general. I want you to look at this on a way bigger level. Number one is, if somebody's asking me that question, why is bread bad? In what context are you asking that? Are you asking that from a health perspective? So is bread not as good as a sweet potato, for example? And yes, you could argue that there's more nutrients in a sweet potato, but like, it doesn't mean bread is bad. Are you looking at it in a fat loss perspective? Like, will eating bread stop you from losing fat? And the short answer to that is no. Because again, it's a caloric surplus that causes you to gain weight. It's being in a caloric deficit that causes you to lose weight, which comes down to that energy balance equation. If the food you eat daily is matching the activity you expand daily, you're going to maintain your weight. If the food coming in is more than you're expanding, you're going to gain weight. If the energy coming in is less than you're expanding energy-wise in terms of training, resistance training, whatnot, you're going to lose weight. Again, those are the basic principles that I harp on about day in, day out, and they're never going to change. So again, where does bread fit into all that? If bread has caused you to overeat at the end of a day, at the end of a week, which puts you into a caloric surplus, which makes you gain weight, yes, it might be a smart thing to look at your bread intake, and a lot of other foods, not going to be just bread, and what you put in that bread, butter, spreads, creams, etc., all that kind of stuff. And look at controlling that and just being aware of that in the first step, so you can start to make small changes from there if weight loss is your goal. But if somebody is already lean, healthy and fit, bread is not something they need to worry about. Sure, whole grain bread might be a bit more nutrient dense than white bread, but again, if you can eat a meal with some protein sources, some veggies and a little bit of bread in there, and it's fine, it fills you up for a few hours and you're grand to your next meal and it doesn't cause you to overeat, you don't really like binge and feckin' stick and slice of toast in the toaster, eating 10 in one go, or lather them with butter, you're fine. If you're somebody who has bread with every feckin' meal and you're lathering with butter and you're putting on tons of stuff, it's causing you to overeat in calories at the end of the day. It might be smarter for you to look at reducing that. Because if you're reducing the bread, automatically you're going to reduce what you're putting on the bread, etc., which does what? It brings down calorie intake overall, which hopefully will pull you into that kind of level where maybe even you're not, just even to a level where you're not gaining weight, you'll notice a difference. But again, overall, it's your overall context of the diet that you're after here. It's not that singular question, is bread bad? That tells me feckin' nothing about the rest of your lifestyle, the rest of your day, that kind of stuff. And it's why we get so deep with clients' diets, rather than kind of just giving generic guidelines. We couple those guidelines with weekly check-ins, we couple those guidelines with food logs, we couple those guidelines with pictures, and then over time we might even get someone tracking calorie intake to get a lot deeper layer into that. But again, they're building habits over time, and they're learning kind of the ins and outs of what does a proper meal look like, what does a proper meal look like for me, what suits my day, what suits my work, all those kind of questions. But again, it's kind of getting away from the singular thinking, is bread bad, is chocolate bad, is this bad, is that bad? You're completely missing the bigger picture. It's the overall context of your diet that matters. And if bread is a big part of that, where it makes up a huge portion of your calories across the day, even by you going to a lower calorie bread alternative or reducing that by a third or a half, you're already reducing your calorie load straight off the bat. So hopefully, look, there are just a few points what was floating around my head in that question. Hopefully it kind of makes you think a little bit bigger picture and shows that bread is perfectly fine, especially if you want to lose fat, you need to be smart about it. Hence why there's lower calorie breads out there these days and whatnot. It doesn't mean you have to eat a lower calorie bread, but it's just smarter because it's an easy way to reduce the calories. But again, eating bread is not going to stop somebody from losing fat. It's not going to make somebody magically gain weight unless your overall calories put you into a surplus overall. Hopefully it helps. Chat to you soon.